Yeah, I think people should research them, and I think people should look them up, and try to find out as much information as they can. I know William Llewellyn wrote a good book. It's like the Anabolic Review or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it. Um, his name is impossible to spell, but if you just look up like steroid books or something like that, you'll find his information. And I do think that people uh, should look into this stuff. I think they should review it. You can check out like More Plates, More Dates. That guy on YouTube, he has a bunch of information where he talks about steroids very openly. Check out Bigger, Stronger, Faster. Check out the documentary. Don't just take one source, and kind of run with it. A lot of people that utilize performance enhancing drugs, they're going to be for it. A lot of people that don't take them are going to be like way against it. The answer always lies somewhere in the middle. I think to talk about steroids in a very maybe black and white way would be to simply just say there's many different forms of steroids, but the more identical they are to the hormones that our own body produces, typically the safer they are for us. And I'm mainly talking about, I guess I shouldn't say that as such a blanket statement, but like testosterone, growth hormone, like these things in moderate dosages. From all of my knowledge, which I'm not a doctor, and there's a lot of things that I don't know, but most of my knowledge, these things taken in a reasonable way are going to have a an impact on your muscle mass, an impact on your strength that may be favorable towards your goals. There's a lot of things to consider though when you think about doing like a cycle of steroids, which no one even really does a cycle anymore. They just kind of perpetually go on them forever. The things to consider are that you may have to utilize them kind of forever. So I started at 25 and I have never come off. And the reason I've never come off isn't necessarily because I love them. It's not necessarily because I'm addicted to them. It's because at the moment I don't have a choice on coming off of them. I would not be as big and as jacked as I am now without them. You also can't take, well, again, as far as my knowledge goes, you can't take steroids and get an impact from them and then come off of them and still hold on to those gains. Now, some people might say, "Oh no, I heard differently," but this is my experience. If you're on steroids for even let's just say you're on them for 20 years straight, and you get fucking jacked, you look unbelievable. You're 270 pounds and you're 10% body fat. Whatever your genetics were before that, that's what you'll be able to kind of hold on to. That's what your body will gravitate back towards. Another example is like, yeah, when I competed in powerlifting and when I wanted to be as big as I could get, I was 330 pounds. I was also like fairly big and lean at like 270 and 280 even. And even 290. Like my face was really fat, but I didn't really, like with my shirt off, I still didn't really look fat. I kind of just looked more big than anything. I certainly didn't look anything like a bodybuilder. But my natural body weight, my natty weight is probably between, on the leaner side, 210 and about 220. Right now I weigh 230. And it's because I'm not on a crazy dosage of hormone, of testosterone. I take about 200 milligrams a week. And so 200 to 300 milligrams, depending on the week, 200 to 300 milligrams a week. But if I was to take more, I could be bigger. But if I was to get rid of them completely, I'd go back down to my natural weight. Even more interesting is that if I was on them, I've been on them for a long time. If I was to come off of them, I would be in a worse place than I ever have been than even if I never touched them. So my hormones will go down lower. Like it's really rare for somebody who has never taken anabolics before to be in a range that is like excessively low testosterone. There are people that produce low amounts of testosterone, but for the most part, you're not going to see somebody with 100 testosterone level, or 200 or 50 or anything. The only time you're going to see that is from somebody that used testosterone in the past. So my main concern for everybody when they're considering going to a TRT clinic or using HRT or however you want to say it, is that you may have to be on these things for a really, really long time. So that's the consideration that I'd like for people to play out in their head. I do think that you could potentially use moderate dosages a couple of times a year and do the old school bodybuilding cycles. I think that would work, but you're going to go through some trouble. You're going to go through some hell when you're not on them. And like sexual dysfunction and things like that, these are not things to play around with. These are things that can, a lot of people are really, really young that are considering steroids at the moment. And I have a concern for that because, in my opinion, you're still developing your mind and you're still developing your own like thoughts and theories on things. And if you have like any depression or any anger in your life, and now you go on testosterone, it makes you a little more aggressive. It does A, B, and C, kind of to you and for you. What's going to happen when that's pulled away? You're going to potentially be more frustrated, more agitated, have a little bit more of a shortened fuse. There's a lot of stuff that happens when people come off of steroids that people don't really talk about. And this is where the acne can come in. This is where I do think that roid rage can be real. I know some people are like, well, it's just because someone's an asshole. Well, testosterone, it is a separator between men. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on out there right now about this sort of topic, but it is a separator between a born male and a female. And when you have higher testosterone levels, I mean, men die sooner than women do. There's many reasons that are attached to this, but a lot of it has to do with men are more aggressive. We put ourselves in more compromising positions. Men kind of, I'll just leave it at that, but you kind of get the idea that like testosterone, it does something for us, right? So if you were to take more testosterone and it helps do A, B, and C for you a little bit more, what's going to happen to you when that's taken away? So it's been good to me. It's been good for me in a lot of ways, but it's just a cautionary tale. Like, I don't know, like if somebody listening, wants to go down that path and be on them forever, that might not be what you want them for. Maybe you're thinking, man, I'm going to go on some testosterone and I'm going to just blast it for a bit and I'm going to gain like 10 pounds of muscle. And then I'm going to hold on to that 10 pounds of muscle and I'm just going to forever be about 10 pounds heavier. Or maybe I'll do it every other year and just gain like, a little bit of muscle mass. They don't, in my opinion, and from what I've seen and all the people I've been around, I've never seen it work that way. So just something to consider.